You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
In the picturesque town of Colorado Springs, Colorado, a loving mother of two who dedicated her life to caring for others as a healthcare worker has gone missing. Unable to locate her, her mother takes action by mobilizing the police to initiate a desperate search for her. As the investigation unfolds, detectives uncover unexpected twists that lead to surprising outcomes, revealing truths that no one anticipated. So, we ask the question, what happens when love becomes fatal? This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast with Over the Edge.
March 11th, 2020. It's a chilly morning in Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Centennial State's second largest city.
Colorado Springs is one of the most beautiful cities in the country.
It's one of the top places in the United States to live.
It is home to Pikes Peak, home to a lot of great hiking, picturesque views.
However, on this Wednesday, one Colorado Springs resident is too anxious to take in the natural beauty around her.
Carlene Blower was worried because it had been 3 days since she talked to her 28-year-old daughter, Elizabeth Kramer. She has not returned any of her calls.
Initially, it wasn't too concerning because Elizabeth was grown and she was living her life.
But now she's learned that no one else has heard from Elizabeth either.
I haven't talked to her in a couple of days, and that's not like her to not call me.
Carlene heard from her daughter's boyfriend, George Little, and he said that he had not seen Elizabeth in several days. She then called Elizabeth's ex, the father of her 2 kids, Davion Rogers. Davion says that he has not seen or heard from Lizzie since Sunday night as well.
Okay, I'll call you back.
When Carlene contacts the healthcare center where Elizabeth works,
She hasn't worked for several shifts.
her fear turns to panic.
She had not been to her shifts. She had not called in. They have not heard anything from her in about 3 days.
This is unlike Elizabeth.
Now convinced that something terrible has happened to her daughter, Carlene decides to call the Colorado Springs Police Department to ask for help.
Colorado Springs Police and Fire, how may I help you?
Yes, I am calling because I have concerns about my daughter and I don't know how to do a welfare check for her.
It's every mother's worst fear for your child to be missing, to not know what's going on.
Elizabeth Kramer was Lizzie to her family and friends, and to everyone else, she was the life of the party.
Lizzie was a very joyful person, and she knew no strangers.
She was a ball of fun.
So how's work going? It's going great. I'm making lots of new friends.
The kind of person who savored the simple life, Lizzie was happy to spend her days enjoying the company of close friends and family.
At the end of the day, what mattered most to her was spending time with her loved ones.
She is very fun-loving, and that's very endearing for all of her friends and family who just love being around her.
She brought the same infectious enthusiasm to her romantic relationships, especially when she met a man named Davion Rogers.
In 2016, Elizabeth and Davion came together in what you could really call a whirlwind romance.
It was an instant attraction.
I knew at the moment I saw you standing there.
What did you know?
She's young, he's young. He got a little swagger to him.
That'd be a shame if I didn't introduce myself.
Every woman wants a confident man.
She bites. They start this relationship.
Stop it.
It was fun. It was exciting. It was energetic.
And before long, it was serious.
Within 3 years, they had already had 2 children, and they were talking about getting married.
But just as the relationship started to look like it would last, Lizzie and Davion began to drift apart.
Their relationship kind of hit a rock. It began to grow stagnant.
They've lost connection, lost communication.
Eventually, they decided it was time to move on.
They ended up separating.
Lizzie understood that it was either stay here and be stagnant or move on and grow and find that one true love.
And it didn't take her long to find Mr. Right.
After Elizabeth and Davion broke up, she started a new job at a healthcare company.
In the course of her new job, she met George Little.
You look great today.
Thanks. So do you.
George was several years younger than Elizabeth, but he had the same enthusiastic personality.
She's had the opportunity to see him every day, get to know him. She see that he's ambitious, he's driven.
They would talk and they would laugh and have these great interactions at work, and that eventually spilled over into their personal lives after work.
What are you doing later today?
Nothing right now.
Lizzie and George's relationship progressed pretty quickly. At the end of that year, they had decided to move in together.
The decision to live together came with its own problems.
At that time, George was living in a small apartment.
There wasn't enough room for Lizzie and her children to move in with him.
It was very heartbreaking for her to have to be separated from them.
But by early 2020, George and Elizabeth found a new apartment.
Their new place was big enough for them and her kids.
She was in a position where she and Davion could have split custody of the children.
She was feeling very hopeful for the future for her, George, and the kids.
But now, Elizabeth's mother is telling the police that no one has heard from her daughter in 3 days.
George's father is concerned for her, and her boyfriend is concerned for her, and I'm concerned for her.
And she has a special reason to be worried.
According to her mother, Elizabeth had been suffering from emotional problems ever since giving birth to her last child.
After childbirth, the levels of estrogen and progesterone in women severely drop, which can lead to depression.
I'm concerned that her severe postpartum depression has caused her to make some unsafe decisions.
Carlene is concerned that her daughter may have hurt herself.
She has been self-medicating with supposedly drugs and alcohol.
No parent would think that their child will commit suicide.
Detectives are investigating what occurred that early morning and what truly happened to the beloved mother. Stay tuned for more of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at Vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The life of Colorado Springs healthcare worker and mother of 2, Elizabeth Kramer, had become a daily struggle.
After Lizzie had her last child, she had been suffering with a severe bout of postpartum depression.
She was falling into a deep hole.
But in the fall of 2019, it appeared to her family that she was finally making improvements.
She had gotten a job at a healthcare facility, and she was really enjoying what she did.
She started a new relationship with a guy from work named George Little, who seemed to really adore her.
You look great.
And she'd started working on a custody arrangement with her ex and father of her kids, Davion Rogers.
That is an incredible feeling like everything is working out.
But now, her mother has called the Colorado Springs police to report her daughter missing.
Carlene hadn't heard from Elizabeth in 3 days, and that gave her cause for alarm.
Her anxiety was through the roof.
Carlene tells the police that she's afraid her daughter's disappearance might be connected to her postpartum depression.
Her mother is concerned that she might have done something to hurt herself.
Do you know where she is right now?
I don't. I have no idea.
Okay, so we can air information to officers in the area so they can start looking for her.
After the call, Elizabeth's mother heads to the police station to give detectives more information.
You want to take a seat here? So, when was the last time you saw your daughter?
It was on Thursday. We had lunch and like a mother's daughter spa day.
Lizzie seemed normal, and she was telling her mom how excited she was to see her children again on Sunday for dinner.
They spoke again on Sunday prior to Elizabeth picking up the boys.
But a couple of days later, Carlene got a disturbing call.
George, Lizzie's current boyfriend, calls Carlene and tells her that he's concerned about her whereabouts.
He said the last time that he saw her was on Sunday, just before she went to pick up her kids.
From their father?
Yes, Davion Rogers.
Carlene, of course, immediately calls Davion.
Davion let her know that, yes, Lizzie had come by the house. She picked up the children around 5 p.m., she dropped them back off around 7 p.m., and she left, and he hadn't heard from her either.
Even more concerning is that Carlene believes her daughter has been self-medicating for her depression.
Her mom thought that maybe she was in such a severe state of postpartum depression that maybe she was indulging in prescription medication.
What made you think that?
Because when I talked to Davion, he told me some things.
Davion told Carlene that Lizzie stole prescription painkillers from him.
He said she was stealing pain medication from him and disappearing for days on end.
I'm just so afraid. I'm afraid that she may have done something to herself.
The detectives share Carlene's concern.
The police are convinced that there's sufficient cause for worry, so they issue a BOLO for Elizabeth's car, and they start the process of obtaining warrants to look into her bank account records, her social media records.
While waiting on a response to the warrants, investigators start conducting interviews with those closest to Elizabeth.
They want to know everybody that she talked to in the days leading up to her disappearance.
They start with the last person known to have seen her, her ex-boyfriend, Davion Rogers.
When was the last time you saw Elizabeth?
She came over here on Sunday.
Davion told him that Lizzie came over around 5 p.m.
She picked up the kids and took them out to dinner. Then she dropped them back off at around 7 o'clock.
After that, he never seen her again.
Davion admits that things have been tense between him and his ex lately.
Davion says that he has been fighting Lizzie for custody of their 2 children.
Why don't you want her to have custody?
Because I don't trust that she'll take care of the kids.
He says that she has been irresponsible. She's disappeared for days without contacting him or the children.
Davion also confirms Carlene's suspicions that Elizabeth was self-medicating with drugs and alcohol.
He says that she has been abusing drugs, and she has also stolen pain medication from him.
I have to ask you this. Did you have anything to do with Elizabeth disappearing?
No, sir.
Davion said that even though he didn't want her to have custody, she was still the mother of his children.
Although they had their issues, he was super worried about her.
But before investigators leave, Davion brings up something else that he says has been troubling him.
Did you ask George?
You mean George Little?
Yeah, the guy she's been living with.
He really thinks there's something deeper going on.
He believes that her new boyfriend, George, had something to do with her disappearance.
Brace yourself for more of this tragic story. This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast. Hey, true crime listeners, we'd like to introduce you to something new from TV One and the Urban One Podcast Network. Explore the mesmerizing tales of women turned supervillains arrested for crimes all in the name of love. What links would you go to for love? Let's listen to TV One's For My Man podcast.
"20-year-old Deborah Brown breaks out of her shell when she meets a smooth-talking charmer on the streets of Waukegan, Illinois.
She was hoping to be loved and willing to make such a huge sacrifice for that.
But when her man's twisted perversion sent him running from police, Deborah willingly tags along and helps bring his monstrous fantasies to life.
The horror and the trail of terror that they left behind left a cloud over communities.
Alton and Deborah were as evil as any couple could be.
See what lengths some women would go for love.
Police in Colorado Springs have learned that missing 28-year-old Elizabeth Kramer was struggling with postpartum depression and drug use.
Postpartum depression is something that so many women suffer from after having a baby. It puts them in a very dark, negative space that is dangerous.
But now her ex-boyfriend, Davion Rogers, has told investigators that he doesn't believe an overdose or suicide is behind her disappearance.
Davion does not believe that Lizzie hurt herself.
He thinks that the new boyfriend, George, has something to do with Lizzie going missing.
Why do you think George might be involved?
Because the way she was when she came over on Sunday.
But on this particular day, her behavior was just very strange and very out of character.
Normally, when Lizzie comes to pick up the kids, Davion brings them down to the car, he loads them in, and everything is fine.
But on Sunday, she took the kids and their backpacks down to the car herself.
He believes that it's because George was with her.
George was in the car and Lizzie was trying to keep them apart.
He said she seemed like she was afraid of George.
If Davion is correct, it contradicts what George told Elizabeth's mother.
George says the last time he saw Lizzie was when she left the apartment to go pick up her kids for dinner.
That means George was actually the last person that saw Lizzie alive.
After talking to Davion, investigators asked George Little to come in for an interview.
He tells police officers that he will do anything to help find Lizzie.
How are things between you and Elizabeth?
Good. Really good.
He tells them that things were going great with him and Lizzie, that they were happy.
Did you go with her to get the kids?
No, I never go with her. You sure about that?
Davion seemed pretty convinced that George was in the car while Elizabeth was picking up the kids. So detectives just came right out and asked him whether or not he was involved.
Did you have anything to do with her disappearance?
Man, I'm trying to help find her. Why would you ask me that?
He stated that he loved her a lot and that he would never harm her.
But he says he knows someone who could.
While Davion was pointing the finger at George, George actually says they need to be looking at Davion.
That guy's scary. What do you mean?
He said that Davion was very jealous of him to the point that he would actually threaten him.
George also claims that Davion's stories about Elizabeth's drug use are outright lies.
George tells the police that the most she has ever done is drink and maybe some marijuana, which is legal in Colorado, but she has never done anything harder than that.
He lets the police know that Davion had been feeding Lizzie's mom different stories about her drug use and disappearances.
I know one thing for sure. If something happened to her, it wasn't suicide.
George wasn't concerned that Lizzie did something to herself. He was concerned that Davion did something to her.
Investigators have now heard two different stories from Elizabeth's boyfriend and her ex, but they don't know which one is true.
Detectives subpoenaed both of their internet and phone records to see what was really going on between them and Lizzie.
However, they're still waiting for the results when they get their first big break in the case.
Detectives were notified that a 911 call came in earlier that morning reporting a suspicious abandoned vehicle.
Colorado Springs Police and Fire, how can I help you?
Who do they talk to if reported if a vehicle might be stolen?
Is it your vehicle?
No, it's actually been parked on the street. Just a tip for one, so I just want to make sure it's stolen.
Okay, an officer will be dispatched as soon as possible.
When police ran the plates, they discovered that it's Elizabeth's SUV.
Patrol officers contacted the detectives who were working the case, and they came out to search the car and the surrounding areas.
They did not find Lizzie inside of or around the car. However, they did find red stains in the car.
They noticed something that looks like blood smear on the car seats, which is not a good sign in any missing persons case.
Detectives canvassed the neighborhood, hoping someone saw the person who abandoned the vehicle.
No one has seen anything or heard anything.
It's not looking good at this point. There's not a whole lot to go on in terms of where she is.
Until a few days later, when there's another break in the case. It starts with two teenagers in the mountains outside Colorado Springs.
Hey. They were hiking. They found this 50-gallon bin.
It was a plastic tote that had been duct tape closed.
It immediately piques their curiosity.
The teenagers got really curious and they cut the duct tape off.
When they open this bin, they find a body there.
This missing persons case turned into a homicide investigation.
Stay with us for more of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at Vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
2 weeks after 28-year-old mother of two, Elizabeth Kramer, disappeared, hikers outside Colorado Springs have stumbled across a dead body in the woods.
I can't even fathom what they were experiencing in that moment. I'm sure fear and confusion. Like, what is happening right now, and what do I do about it?
Detectives are quickly called to the scene to make a positive identification.
They would need to run her prints to confirm, but the detectives were fairly certain that the woman in the tote was Elizabeth Kramer.
Detectives also had a theory for how she ended up there.
There was a road that ran atop a cliff overlooking the spot where the tote was found.
It looks like it was pushed off the edge.
It's clear this is a dumping ground. This is not where the actual murder occurred.
But it's not clear how she died.
There was really no trauma that they can see that was done to the body.
It's not until they get to the autopsy that they're able to determine a cause of death.
The postmortem exam reveals a phenomenon known as petechia, burst blood capillaries.
The medical examiner was able to determine that there were tiny blood vessels in Elizabeth's eyes that were broken.
It's a clear sign that Elizabeth had been strangled to death.
The amount of passion and rage that it takes to strangle somebody to death is crazy.
But who had that kind of rage against Elizabeth Kramer?
The obvious suspects were the men in her life, her boyfriend, George, or her ex, Davion. But it was also possible that Elizabeth was involved with someone her family or her boyfriend didn't know about.
Looking for answers, investigators interview people at the healthcare company where she and George both worked.
When police speak with Lizzie's co-workers, they discuss how devastated and heartbroken they are to have lost her.
As far as her co-workers are concerned, one suspect can be ruled out.
Lizzie's co-workers said that she was extremely happy with George.
There's no way George was involved.
But that's not what they say about Davion.
Davion was a bad guy.
Lizzie had confided in them several times that not only was Davion a cheater, but he was also very violent toward her.
Elizabeth wasn't just dealing with postpartum depression.
She would come into work crying all the time because of the things he did to her.
Lizzie said that Davion had been beating her.
Her co-workers say they've seen the evidence for themselves.
They tell a story of her coming to work with bruises.
She's been putting up with him for a long time.
We tried to help her, but she said she had to stay with him.
Lizzie tried to stay and endure the abuse for the sake of her children. She really didn't have anywhere to go or a way out. So she thought that if she just took it, things would get better.
But a horrific incident in December changed everything.
Around Christmas, Lizzie was getting ready to take a shower when Davion stormed in.
He grabbed her by her hair and tried to bend her over the sink to rape her.
After that, there was no going back.
For Lizzie, that was the final straw. She just realized that this was not going to get better for her or her children, and she had to make a change for their safety.
She and George had already been forging a relationship, so she went to George to ask if she could move in with him.
Elizabeth felt she'd finally managed to escape.
She got out of that toxic relationship and began a new relationship with George Little. Her life began picking up and looking brighter at that point.
But Davion began using the children to try to control her.
He wouldn't let her see them. He said that he was going to get full custody.
And he was fighting her attempt to get joint custody.
And eventually, she confided in her co-workers that Davion was stalking her.
She would say, "He always watches me. He sees me. He knows what I'm doing." And this made her co-workers very alarmed.
But most alarming of all is what Elizabeth told her boss 2 weeks before she disappeared.
She came into work and she was crying.
She wasn't sure what to do about it.
He said he's gonna kill me.
Brace yourself for more of this tragic story. This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
Police in Colorado Springs suspect that Elizabeth Kramer was strangled by someone close to her. And after talking to her co-workers, they believe they've identified the monster in her life. The father of her children, Davion Rogers.
Lizzie, about 2 weeks before she went missing, came into her supervisor's office and told her that Davion had threatened to kill her.
Elizabeth's boss told her to stay away, to keep her distance from Davion. But that was hard.
Because Davion had her children.
she just couldn't stay away from the kids, and eventually she went back so that she could see her children.
Detectives suspect that's what Davion was counting on.
The worst abuse most women will experience is when they're leaving the relationship. Because at that point, that partner that's doing the abuse, they no longer feel like they're in control.
And rather than give up control, detectives believe Davion had killed her. But they need evidence to prove it.
They had these incriminating statements from George and her co-workers about Davion, but nothing really substantial to back up those statements.
Until they received the records they'd requested from Davion's cell phone.
Once the subpoenas were returned, and police had the phone records and the social media records, police found out that Davion was still very much obsessed with Lizzie. He had directly threatened her, not only on text, but via social media.
But even more shocking is what the investigators find in his internet search history.
They found searches for how to get away with murder, how to get rid of a blood stain from a carpet.
He had been looking up things about black magic and how to use a voodoo doll to kill somebody, how to make strangulation look like an accident.
It wasn't just out of morbid curiosity. It was training.
Davion had watched several videos on how to do a rear naked chokehold, a martial arts maneuver that was consistent with the way in which Lizzie was murdered.
It's enough to convince detectives that Davion killed Elizabeth. But they need more evidence before they can make an arrest.
They already have a lot to go on, but what is really the nail in the coffin is the surveillance video.
Across the street from Davion's apartment is a public high school. And when detectives contact the staff, they learn that there's a security camera pointed right at their suspect's front door.
They're able to see that on Sunday evening, Lizzie did go over to Davion's apartment to pick up the children for dinner.
The footage from the surveillance cameras showed Elizabeth pulling up and parking, getting out of her car at 4:33 p.m.
She enters the apartment, but they do not see her come back out.
Instead, they see Davion.
He come out of his apartment, no signs of her. He gets in the car, moves it about 4 houses down.
After moving the car, he goes back inside the apartment.
Some time goes by and another black man shows up.
The other man brought a large item to the door, waited outside, and was then seen helping Davion carry it away from the apartment.
It looks like the bin that Elizabeth's body was found in.
At no point while police were watching the surveillance footage did they ever see Lizzie leave the apartment.
It's the proof the investigators have been looking for.
The police finally have enough evidence to charge Davion.
On June 17, 2020, police take Davion into custody at his apartment. They immediately conduct an interview, hoping to close the case with a confession.
They give him an opportunity to come clean and tell the truth. Davion denies that he had anything to do with Lizzie's murder.
Davion was sticking to his story. You know, he didn't change up anything.
So detectives decide it's time to lay all their cards on the table.
We didn't just bring you down here for no reason.
Okay, we got some new information in the case.
They tell Davion that they have the video, they have the internet searches, they have this evidence against him.
When they let him know, hey, you can't get out of this, he cracked.
He finally says he is ready to tell the truth.
She came over to pick up the kids like I said. But then something happened.
When Lizzie got there, he informed Lizzie that he did not trust her and did not want her to have the children.
They got into a heated argument about custody.
I can't take it anymore. I cannot take it.
They're getting into a shouting match.
And it quickly turned into more than just shouting.
He told her he was taking the kids and he was moving to Memphis.
He said it set Lizzie off, and she lunged at him.
She came at me. Like, she was trying to grab me.
And what'd you do?
I, pushed her off me.
But according to Davion, that wasn't the end of it.
Davion said that once he pushed Lizzie off of him, she grabbed a knife. She turned around and told him that if he was going to take the children, that she was going to kill all of them.
Davion says he had to protect himself.
I didn't have a choice. I couldn't let her cut me.
That's when he put her in the chokehold.
He really intended to just restrain her.
He didn't even realize he was choking her so hard.
He did not mean to kill her.
Stay with us for more of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at Vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Armed with security camera video and their suspect's incriminating internet search history, Colorado Springs police have arrested Davion Rogers for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Elizabeth Kramer. But now, under questioning, Davion has told them they have it all wrong.
Davion insists that he never intended to hurt Lizzie.
Davion said that Lizzie attacked him.
I didn't have a choice. I couldn't let her cut me.
In an attempt to defend himself, he puts her in a chokehold and didn't realize how hard he was squeezing.
Until he realized she was dead.
Davion told the detectives that he panicked. His first thought was to go outside and move the car.
It's crazy because all I could think was maybe if nobody knew she was there, it'd be okay.
But he also had to get rid of the body.
I need you to do me a favor, man.
Davion called one of his friends and had him go buy a 50-gallon tote and bring it to the house.
Did you tell him why you needed such a big tote?
No, sir. He had no idea about Lizzie being dead.
Davion had him stay outside and wait. While his friend was outside, he wrapped up Lizzie's body and he stuffed it in the tote.
All this time, the kids were in the back room.
After putting her body in the tote, Davion asked his friend to help him carry it to her car.
You don't want to know what's in here. Don't even ask.
He insists that his friend had no idea and that he was just helping him.
When the tote was loaded into the car, Davion drove into the mountains outside Colorado Springs.
Davion had his friend stay behind with the children while he went to dispose of the body.
Davion's point of going into the mountains was looking for a place to dispose of the body.
Davion says that he drove to a spot where the road ran beside a cliff.
He backed the car up to the very edge.
Davion stated that he just kicked the bin over the people.
Then he drove back to Colorado Springs.
Davion abandoned Lizzie's car in Colorado Springs. He got a ride home and then started to clean up and get rid of anything that could have been potential evidence.
I wish it never happened. I mean, I wish he hadn't come at me like that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to hurt her.
The police are not really buying that. They know that it takes several minutes to strangle somebody.
It also doesn't fit with what investigators found in his internet search history.
They feel he was so upset that Lizzie was leaving him for George that he had already planned on killing her.
They end up charging him with first-degree murder.
When Davion goes on trial on February 25th, 2021, the prosecution tells the jury that the death of Lizzie Kramer was no accident.
this was premeditated. This is something that Davion had planned to do.
Prosecutors state that his motive in murdering her was the fact that Lizzie was leaving him for another man.
He doesn't want her to take his kids away from him and go start a new life with some other guy.
Davion refused to accept that their relationship was over. But nothing could persuade her to get back together with him.
Elizabeth was not going to go back to an abusive relationship no matter how hard he tried.
Davion has felt like if he couldn't have Lizzie, nobody could.
In the end, he decided she had to die.
This was done out of jealousy, out of him losing his sense of control over the relationship.
Prosecutors made it clear that this was not a crime of passion. Davion had spent several days searching and planning out how he was going to kill her.
By March 8th, he was ready.
When Elizabeth showed up to take her children to dinner, Davion took that opportunity while she was alone to end her life.
He knew he was going to commit this crime. He's prepared for it.
He struck without warning.
Davion caught her off guard as soon as she walked in, put her in the chokehold that he had been practicing.
He held it extremely tightly for several minutes.
Davion had plenty of time to realize what was happening, and still he did not loosen his grip.
It was deliberate and cold-blooded.
This all happened while the kids were playing in the back bedroom.
They're able to paint a pretty clear picture of Davion as a murderer and a monster.
The defense argues that Davion never intended to kill his ex-girlfriend.
He maintains that Lizzie left him no choice because she attacked him.
But the evidence is against him.
Davion had prepared this for months, and that's all recorded by his phone records, his computer records.
On September 9th, 2021, the jury reaches a decision.
They found Davion Rogers guilty of first-degree murder.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Davion Rogers is behind bars for life, and he will not ever be able to get out to inflict harm on anybody else.
Police, prosecutors, and family agree that justice has been served.
He had no remorse in it, so the sentence was well-deserved.
The murder, it was just so horrific, so cold-blooded, so callous.
Davion stole the mother of his children's life at the moment when she had finally found happiness.
Elizabeth had so much to look forward to. She was a happy, joyful person who had the opportunity with George to start a new life, and that was stolen from her.
Elizabeth wasn't deserving of the end that she found. Nobody deserves to be stuffed into a tote and kicked over the side of a cliff.
And Lizzie Kramer isn't the only victim.
Lizzie and Davion's kids, they've lost 2 parents.
It's just a tragic story all around.
Cold-hearted, intentional, and profoundly sad are the words that come to mind when reflecting on the tragic tale of Elizabeth Kramer. Love can manifest in many forms, but when it is intertwined with abuse, leading to the unthinkable, it forces us to confront some of the complex and often painful nature of what love truly means. Elizabeth Kramer was not only a devoted mother and cherished friend, but also a beacon of light in the lives of those fortunate enough to know her. Her absence is deeply felt, leaving a void in the hearts of those who love her. Coming up on the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
I love our little family.
She'd spent her life looking for love in all the wrong places.
She was the type that loved and loved hard.
All she really wanted to do was be accepted.
After several failed relationships, she wanted something different.
And she'd finally found it with a man who promised her a better life.
He was handsome, he was consistent.
He was everything that she wanted.
But their passionate love story will end in unimaginable tragedy.
We all know that feeling when love finally finds you. There's nothing quite like it. However, when a young mother of 4 from Marietta, Georgia falls in love, the feelings seem mutual and genuine. But then a twist disrupts the euphoria, and the situation takes a shocking turn when the police receive a mysterious call, prompting them to investigate and uncover the truth. Tune in to the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast. We will see you in the next episode.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.